Dean plays Strats.
Strats are also comfortable as hell.
I've never really liked them growing up. Hey, WikiPod, 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 WikiPod. That was WikiPod. We're rocking over here at the WikiPod. I'm playing guitar. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little tiny amp for you.
Nothing sounds better than a not plugged in electric guitar being played directly into a microphone, right?
You know that that's what Jimmy Page did to record his acoustic guitar sounds on.
Was
on
he
Led
able
Zeppelin
to figure
3?
that out before banging, in between banging heroin and banging 14-year-old children?
Was he banging 14-year-olds?
Oh, sure he was.
I mean, that was pretty much every rocker in the 70s, right?
Yeah, it was, well, not everyone. The ones who were pedophiles, yes. Not every rocker was a pedophile.
What's your opinion on David Bowie?
David Bowie was he was a pedophile.
Yeah.
Yeah, but over here at the WikiPod, featuring me, PJ, and
I'm Guy.
we have a couple of mantras. One of them is when they go low,
We go lower.
and also we separate the
Art
from the
artist.
That's right. So listen, David Bowie had sex with children. Absolutely. Iggy Pop had sex with children. Who else had sex with children?
Jimmy Page, but we don't care about Jimmy Page because he's pretty much. I think Led Zeppelin is bad.
That's-
I'm going on the record and saying that.
Not a wild take. Not a wild take.
Is it?
Not wild. No.
I think they're a greatest hits band.
Sure.
Like the great you get.
And their greatest hits are the songs that were cover songs that they took credit for writing.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. That's an unfortunate reality of music in the 70s and another.
But listen, that's
English,
the least. If you
British
ask me,
people,
absolutely.
thieves.
Listen, absolutely.
Thieves
Totally. But
and
listen, Pablo
imperials.
Picasso, renowned misogynist Pablo Picasso, once famously said that what is it? Art borrows, great art steals, or something. Yeah. We're all about intellectual property theft over here because the idea of intellectual property is a farce.
I think we're all about theft here.
We just love stealing shit. And listen, not trying to do a dig on Led Zeppelin for stealing songs from people and using them as their own, claiming them as their own. That's just that's what music is. There's only 12 notes, guy. Did you know this? There's only 12 notes out there. Who's playing them?
Well, I mean,
not me. Might be you. Might be your family.
Yeah.
How many musicians you got in the family?
My sister Addie plays music a bit.
Hell yeah.
My brother Al grew up. He tried to play the drums. He can play the drums.
Hell yeah.
And my brother Clay can play harmonica really good. Actually,
that's impressive.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's some musical people. My great grandfather was a savant piano player.
Oh,
he used to play for silent movies. He used to play the piano to silent movies.
Oh, that's sick.
That
rocks.
He was an awful, horrible human being.
Oh, listen. Once again, separate the art from the artist.
Yeah. He was just an asshole though. In general, everybody was just like, "Fuck this guy."
Who amongst us?
Everybody.
Everybody, no, that's actually a really bad metric to go off of. Welcome, listener. Thank you for listening to another episode of the WikiPod. I almost said article and then I said episode. It's the podcast.
Yeah, the podcast.
It's a podcast that we do. We do podcasting.
Share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe.
Live, laugh, blood.
We're the live, laugh, love, ladies and germs, and our friends beyond the binary. Butt fuck. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore, guy.
Oh, there's a YouTube clip of one of our Board of Education people talking about anal sex at a Board of Ed meeting.
I mean, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with talking about anal sex?
Well, I mean, she was claiming the Democrats were teaching kids how to have anal sex.
Well, they're teaching children what anal sex is so that when children are abused, they'll know that, oh, hey, this is anal sex. This is not a normal thing, because that's how you abuse children, is by confusing them and making them think that the horrible things that are happening to them are normal. And which is, I'm convinced at this point, anybody who's like, oh, don't sexualize children, don't teach children about sex, I'm fully looking at you as if you're a pedophile. You're more of a pedophile than David Bowie was. And David Bowie did Ziggy Stardust. What the fuck have you done? Oh, you're a bored housewife who got your real estate investment banker husband got you a nice job as sitting on a fucking useless town council for a town that's full of a bunch of fuckheads and shit heels.
Yeah, seriously, Tom's River needs a wall built around it to keep us out of the rest of New Jersey.
Absolutely. If seriously saying like, oh, they're describing to children what anal sex is, like, yeah, they need to be taught things, and that's the thing that's worth teaching children. I'm sorry. That's a thing that's worth teaching
think
children.
Though, with I think there's a way, and I think that the problem is that people don't understand what is being taught.
Yeah.
And because people like to be, like, especially, like, loud people like to be deliberately ignorant of actual, like, context, so they can make these, like, insane accusations. It's the same thing as a conspiracy theory where it has a grain of truth to it, so it lets you, it gives you the permission structure to lie blatantly without it being completely a lie.
And the other thing is, too, it seems to me that it's like sort of a rhetorical argument that the right, so this is an apolitical podcast, by the way, but there's a rhetorical tactic that the right excels at, which is taking talking points, but using like a different sort of like endpoint to where the argument is going. Like it's sort of like, and I'm not going to say the left because who gives a shit, but like Democrats have sort of capitulated time and time and time again to right-wing framing on issues, so that it's like we're just living in a separate reality from what the political discourse is. Like the political discourse in this country is that there's an invading army of disgusting subhuman creatures, much like orcs in The Lord of the Rings, that are spilling in and just raping and pillaging and just taking everything from us and murdering everybody. That's what they think is going on, when that's clearly not what's going on. And we just have to deal with an entire political apparatus, left-wing and right-wing, that has fully capitulated to that imaginary framing of an issue, such as... but anyway, this is an apolitical podcast. I'm saying both sides suck. So that's technically apolitical.
Yeah, this is definitely an apolitical take on...
Yeah, there's actual issues with immigration that need to be reformed, and the problem is none of it's actually being addressed with any sort of good faith.
Yeah,
and so we get dipshits like that lady saying that, like, oh, we shouldn't be teaching kids about anal sex because there's this secret, like, nefarious purpose that the powers that be, who are pulling the strings. There's all this coded anti-Semitism to all this shit. Like, even with the Maha movement, where they're saying, like, oh, they're feeding us poison. It's this idea of goy slop or whatever the fuck, where it's like there's these nefarious Jews that are controlling everything. This is not something I believe. This is something that's being perpetuated by Nazis, like literal Nazis, who are in the coffers of power right now. And this is an apolitical podcast, guy. It looks like you have something to say.
Well, I do believe
it sounds like you're trying to be very political right now, and I'm gonna have to cut you off.
I'm not being
political. I'm gonna have to cut you off, guy. How you doing this week? How you doing this week? How's your world doing? How you doing, guy?
It's going. Like, I'm doing some. I'm working. It's getting closer to the holidays, so I'm stressing out a little bit.
It is close to the holidays. Fuck Christmas.
Fuck the world.
Fuck the world. Fuck. How do you feel about Christmas?
Like, I usually like Christmas time. So. It used to be great because, like, my family owned a business, and we all used to work that day, and it was just like a good community. Like it was just like all family. It was a good time.
Yeah.
And now it is not the same because it's not owned by my family anymore. So, and I still run the place, and it's just like it's a different type of like family, and without my old family just being there, it's just kind of like stressful in a different, less comfortable way.
Would you say that we've lost the war on Christmas?
Yeah. Wait, there was a war on Christmas?
And are you saying that we lost it?
Wait, are they still trying to take Christ out of Christmas?
They've successfully done it.
They did it?
Yes, they did.
Well, I didn't know.
Well, it happened.
And
that's why you don't have fun at Christmas anymore.
Wait, where do I?
Has nothing to do with any sort of material
reality. Where do I
return
my T-shirt to?
Which one? Which T-shirt?
Don't take Christ out of Christmas T-shirt.
You can send it back to the church you got it from.
I didn't buy it from a church.
Where'd you buy it from?
I got it from that Joe Biden store.
Oh, yeah, it's a church now.
Let's Go Brandon. Oh, it is a church. It has to be a church
now. They're technically tax exempt. You're talking about the RV that's covered in festooned in flags?
No, there's a store. It's called Let's Go Brandon.
Oh yeah,
it's in Tom's River.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, they have an altar.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, I didn't realize that it's always been a church.
Yes, it's a church.
Praise the Lord, Trump.
Absolutely. Tax exempt status is for everybody who is pro
Merry
Trump.
Chris Trump.
Merry Christ
Trump.
Trump. Merry Christ Trump.
He is Merry Trumpmas.
He is the chosen one. He's the chosen one.
God.
He's the second coming.
It is about time that Jesus came
This
back
is an
in the form of fucking Trump.
Yeah, of a malignant narcissistic rapist who's completely morally vapid and devoid of any real feelings, and by the powers of Satan, clearly avoided getting his fucking brain scooped out on national television.
You know what? My favorite thing about it is that like we always knew that all politicians are like pretty much just evil, horrible humans.
You got to be a fucking psychopath if you're actually going to like go for that sort of.
The power and the lust for power is so great in these people that it just makes them do evil things. So like
Matt Gaetz didn't want to traffic children to have sex with.
No, he just did it because he needed to for the power.
Did you know that he actually murdered his college roommate? Because he saw the movie Dead Man on campus and didn't want to go to class anymore. So he murdered him by staging it. He staged it to look
like... Are you sure that isn't just the story of Matt Gaetz? That movie didn't come out?
He did grow up. Matt Gaetz did grow up. This is an apolitical podcast, but Matt Gaetz, apolitically speaking, did grow up in the house that they shot The Truman Show in.
Oh, okay. It totally makes sense.
I didn't know. I've never seen The Truman Show, though. I heard it's great.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Ed Harris is in it, right?
Yeah.
Love Ed Harris.
I read some reviews, some modern day reviews, and people are saying this is abuse to Jim Carrey's character.
They're talking about a fictional character.
Yeah, and obviously it's abuse.
It's a
story.
You can have stories where people are victims of abuse. That's not problematic.
But like somebody was like, "Is this really happening?" Like the world is so
folks. If you're listening to this podcast and you're not outside right now, you can keep your headphones in. Just walk outside. Just take it in. Just take in the air. Look around. You get caught in traffic for an hour before you go and record a podcast with your friend.
You know why I think people love Trump so much?
Why?
Because they always believed politicians were horrible humans.
Sure.
And then Trump was like, yeah, we are.
Yeah, that's
like the logic doesn't make sense, but it's just
the perception for a lot of Trump supporters and Trump voters is that he is like a giant middle finger to the establishment that's turned their backs on him
while simultaneously being the establishment.
Oh yeah, of course. It's oh god,
not like he's gonna get
podcast. I don't even want to think.
All right, we're done. We're done
with what? We're
done.
We didn't even pick a category.
Yeah. We're ready. We're moving on to the next part of the show. Hold on. We keep on forgetting to do this.
What?
Did he watch?
Oh, did he watch?
He didn't kill himself. He probably did it, but he didn't kill himself.
He's living on Big St. James Island with the body doubles of Jeffrey Epstein and Saddam Hussein.
I saw a video of P. Diddy walking into the courtroom, and he like fainted. And then, yeah.
Is he doing all right? Is he okay?
I think he's freaking out. But
why? What did he do?
Well, anyway, so he was walking and he fainted, and then the video, it was like one of those Instagram videos. So then I swiped to the next side to see there, and it was just a marketing scam to get you to watch that and then say you could be posting this on your feed and get lots of views.
Oh my god!
And I was like,
how do we do a marketing? Can we invent a new marketing scam?
Well, listen, I signed up for that one, and
nice. Perfect. So we'll finally get some listenership on this goddamn podcast.
We're probably
but which we don't
more.
need. I feel like I'm always complaining about how no one listens. We do have. You're listening right now, listener, and I love you and I appreciate you, and I'm very appreciative of the people that listen to it. And honestly, like I'm kind of playing it up that we're like not well known, and we don't really put a lot of effort into marketing ourselves at all. Like zero effort.
I don't know how to use hashtags yet.
You just put the little cross.
Yeah, I understand, but like I always put just hashtag. Fun.
Yeah, you just
hashtag fun, and like I'm hoping that somebody
just go for it. You just gotta throw shit at the wall until it sticks. That's my motto.
Ooh, hashtag P Diddy.
Hashtag P Diddy
didn't do it.
Yeah. Hashtag explore page. Hashtag for you page. Hashtag FYP 5-year plan. Are you a fan of the rock band 5-year plan guy?
I've never heard them before.
You would like them.
Oh, I would?
Yeah, it's Todd from Toys That Kill. Do you know Toys That Kill?
I do not.
You don't know Toys That Kill? You would love them.
You sure?
Listener, go listen to Toys That Kill on FYP.
Okay. Yeah, so ready? The stinger is coming. It came.
Nice.
Maybe. We don't know.
It came again.
Yeah, it came
It came.
all over
What is
your
it?
face.
What is it? It's Val Venus from WWF. He was like, I came, I saw, I came again. And I was like an 8-year-old boy watching that who didn't understand what penises were, and I was just like, oh man.
It's funny just the way you said it.
I don't know what this is, but this is dirty. I love it. I don't get it, but I love it.
All right, so like
I just saw like him walking out to wrestle, and there's a big Titantron where it's like a missile being shot out of a battleship, and then like hot dogs being put into hot dog buns, and I'm like, this has to do with sex, and I don't get it, but I love it. We're an anti-sex podcast, apolitical podcast, the Wiki Pod. So what's your category this week, Guy?
my category, it's a weird one.
Yes.
I've been thinking about it for the last 30 seconds. Just because, like, I was just like, I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck it actually means. Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. I love it. That's something that we're devoid of over here at the Wiki Pod.
No. I think I
I
have
put my
it.
fist through drywall like it's nothing.
I don't do that, as I value my fist.
I don't. I have zero value for my fists.
Yeah.
These things, a lot of people are like, oh, if you're a boxer, you like register them as lethal weapons. I register these things as, I don't register them as anything. I put them in front of my cats, and my cats either rub their face lovingly on my hands, or they attack them as if I'm
Okay.
some sort of predator, and they're defending themselves from me.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I love my cats. Do you love your cats?
My cat lives with my mom now, and I do love her.
Yes, absolutely. We're not giving our cats' names away because we don't want our weirdo fan base to like find out where we live and like find our cats and call our cats and like kidnap our cats and be like, ha ha ha, I've stolen your cat and now your cat's mine now, and unless you cop to my demands, because I'm a psychopathic fan, much like the Bjork fan that sent her a chemical bomb. Remember that?
No, but
He
do you
sent
think
her a
that that's
bomb.
going to do you think that that's going to happen? To
Someone's
us?
gonna mail acid bombs to us inevitably. Listener,
Fuck,
if you're planning on doing that, cut it out. Cut it out.
I mean,
Just cut it out.
I'm
We're
gonna-
not as talented as Bjork.
but I do like getting gifts.
I love gifts.
Yeah.
Do love gifts. Love Bjork.
Like, share, subscribe, live,
Absolutely.
laugh, love.
So yours is emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
My category is going to be a religious sect.
Okay, that's a good broad one.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
I
you.
think it's your
It's
your
my
pop.
pick this week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on the Wikipedia page. I'm opening up the tab where I can click on random 1, 2, 3 Wikipod. We've got The Wanderer, a Burney novel.
Ooh,
The Wanderer, Burney novel.
how do you spell wander? Is it like
It's
murderer?
THE space
Oh, it's the A. It's a
Wanderer, WANDERER, parentheses, Burney, BURNEY.
okay. I
Got
found
it. Nice. So we got
Holy crap! Oh, cool. We got a novel at least. That's awesome.
we got some books, folks. We love books.
We do love books.
Pro books, anti reading.
No, I'm pro reading, but
Pro
mostly
audiobooks.
audiobooks.
Pro audiobooks.
I'm pro real reading too. I just I mean, like, it's the same thing. Some people are auditory like learners and have an easier time. I cannot really read, so it's the best thing for me.
Listen, it takes all kinds, folks, and that's one of our many truisms on this pod.
This looks kind of cool. I'm kind
It does
of
look pretty nice.
up
We got
there.
a picture pretty much at the start.
Yeah.
It's like an old Victorian painting of a lady with a very elaborate, ornate hat.
All right,
A lot of ribbons.
You want me to grab this?
Go for it.
The Wanderer or Female Difficulties.
Had those, brother. Let me tell you. This is a Manosphere podcast. We're strictly located in the
Red
Manosphere.
pill, red pill,
Red pilled
red
Manosphere
pill,
podcast.
red pill. Andrew Tate,
Apolitical,
number one
apolitical
G,
Manosphere podcast.
top G. Yeah.
Yeah. Bitch, to quote Red Foreman in the movie RoboCop, bitches leave. If you're a lady, yeah, I don't know why you're listening to this because this cannot appeal to you. Didn't your sister say that the problem with our podcast is we have too much masculine energy going on?
Well, yeah.
Joking aside.
one of them said that, but also my other sister, Adria, called me up the other day and said, "I like listening to your podcast. It's like familiar."
Oh, nice.
And
Well,
it
you
was
are
the ni-
family.
Yeah, but it was the nicest thing because she was missing home and she listened to our
Aw.
podcast and she was just like, that was
It's
the
nice.
nicest thing.
It's like you have a little bonus guy to hang out with,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're just
yeah.
sort of a fly on the wall for one of his inane conversations with his dumb friend PJ.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
been part of. Like many of those.
Absolutely, that had happened when we lived together
Yeah,
several
yeah.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, she-
Shout out listener Adria.
Yeah. I can find her on the GPS with from our listenership because it shows up in her like general area because I think she listened to our podcast while on runs in this park.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
cool.
it's cool. All right.
Wait, so you can actually track down like specifically?
Oh yeah, you could get real.
So listener,
close.
you're on our radar. We know
We
where the
know
fuck
where
you
you
are.
live.
We know where you live. We know where you are. We know your
Pretty-
routes of travel.
Yeah.
We'll get you.
We'll find you.
We'll find
wherever
you.
you are,
We'll get you.
and that's a good thing.
All right, it's great. Listen, when I say we get you, I'm not saying like we're going to kidnap you or we're going to do something nefarious. I mean, we get you like we got your back.
Yeah, like when you finally get kidnapped by like the NSA for doing some real fucked up shit or searching some weird stuff on the internet or saying like I'm going to bomb this or I'm going to bomb that on like, a computer.
I was thinking about building pipe bombs the other day just to have them in my
God,
back pocket.
don't let the NSA, please
ATF.
forgive him for this.
More like gay TF, am I right?
The Wanderer, or Female Difficulties, is Frances Burney's last novel, published in March 1814 by Longman, Hurst, Rees, Orme, and Brown.
How many fucking dudes does it take to run a publishing company?
It was for a woman, so in 1814, so that means that they had to have as many men as they could get,
Yeah.
just to like vouch for her. Like they're like, yo,
Right.
trust me, this book is good. It's about female difficulties. It's
Absolutely.
good. We're gonna learn something.
Listen, they were like, listen, public, this dumb bitch wants to call this thing The Wanderer, and that probably is the optimal title for it. But because we know that you like hate women and you don't trust them, we're gonna have to make this dumb bitch call it Female Difficulties.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
The book was originally called Female Difficulties, and then Longman, Hurst, Rees, Orme, and Brown were like, yo, we have to change this name to The Wanderer.
Yeah, because
nobody's gonna read it, even though it's a sick book.
I appreciate that angle because it's like that is true. People would look at that and be like, I don't want to fucking read about no fucking girl problems. I'm a
Exactly.
dude. I'm a fucking dude. I'm a strong ass man. I go to work with my fucking wax handlebar mustache and suck off little boys. That's what I do. Because they're British. You know this. You know this is what British
Maybe.
people do.
I mean, whatever. British people are weird. Anyway,
They sure are.
This historical novel with Gothic overtones set during the 1790s tells the story of a mysterious woman who attempts to support herself while hiding her identity.
That is very goth. And we're a pro-goth podcast here.
Gosh. The
We
novel
shop,
focuses...
we shop at Spencer's. We paint our fingernails black. We wear fishnet arm stockings.
I live in a basement.
You do live in a basement. We perform hexes on people.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have a blood altar.
Absolutely. I saw the Craft for the first time this year, and I loved it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a good movie. Feruza Balk.
Yeah, it's cool.
Nev Campbell.
Nev Campbell's cool. I think she's
Yeah.
dead.
I think the one chick is from. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't one of the chicks from the Half Baked? Isn't it the chick from Half Baked in that movie?
Sure.
I don't remember. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The novel focuses on the difficulties faced by women as they strive for economic and social independence.
Damn.
Whoa, this is a straight up. This is an early feminist book.
Love it. Love it.
All right,
love
we're,
feminism. Love women's suffrage. Speaking of David Bowie, Suffragette City, great song.
Yeah.
Hey, man. All right, so anyway, we got this picture of this dumb broad over here. Frances Burney's 1752 to 1840. Damn, she got old. So she was probably
Did she?
rich.
Was she 90?
She has a portrait of herself, and
Is
she's
that
wearing...
90? That's 88. 88
Yeah,
years old.
That's old as shit for back then.
Yeah,
that's old
pretty
as shit
good.
for now.
Actually, that's not that old for back then. That is that old for back then. But
if you're rich.
if you're rich, yeah, that's the mortality rate was so like when they say people's average age was like 35, that's because poor people were just being killed.
And also infant mortality.
Yeah, infant mortality was
like,
so people died at 0.
Yeah, because they were just like they didn't have like antiseptic or anything like they didn't have soap or like gloves or anything
they
like
had
that.
soap,
So they were
they
literally just like they were shitting kids out of their vaginas into the fucking gutter, and the kids were getting sepsis like immediately because
And then dying, yeah.
Yeah, and it's
then
just
the
like,
mothers were dying. And then
I'm the doctor. I'm gonna put shit leeches up this baby's up this baby's butt.
we have literally
and that's
come
how
so
we're gonna-
far,
yeah.
and still we're trying to go back to that.
We have actually achieved it, and we're not trying.
yeah,
We've
right,
actually
yeah.
achieved it
Thank
at
God,
this point.
RFK, man. Thank
RFK
God.
Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, does
He is
he
going
look
to-
healthy to you? Does he
Dude,
look
he's
healthy?
Listen,
Does he
he's
sound healthy to you?
he's so healthy.
That he looks like
a brain worm couldn't kill him.
Yeah, because he's already. It looks like there isn't any moisture in his body.
He actually
anymore.
looks ripped for being like 70.
It looks like he
1,000 years
sweats
old.
iodine.
He does. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
'Cause
it
he
looks
drinks
like
it.
it looks like he's already partially decomposed, but they injected wax into his veins.
His voice is like that.
Yeah.
Because he spent almost all of his time wandering around like hiking trails, telling women, "Don't get your babies vaccinated."
I thought it was because
whispering it to them.
I thought it was because he did so much heroin that he contracted hepatitis, and it forever altered his vocal
No,
cords.
I think the brainworm is that. I mean, he. I don't think he was a heroin addict.
Yeah, he was. He was a
was?
heroin addict. Yeah.
I know that he was
Well-documented
like.
a heroin addict,
I know
yeah.
that he has like a diary of like every time he's cheated on his wives.
That can't be complete because apparently he cheated on his first wife like 36 times.
Yeah, he kept it.
And
He kept
and
it. He
he's
kept
been-
like a record of it.
Yeah, he's been like beaten off on FaceTime with some reporter or something like that.
Yeah.
This is an apolitical podcast.
This
by
isn't
the way.
political.
We're just
This
talking
is
about
just the facts.
This is a Manosphere podcast, and we're talking about chill ass dudes like RFK
yeah,
Jr.
RFK Jr. You know,
Yeah.
he's freaking. He's so cool. Matt
Listen,
Gaetz,
ladies,
Matt
if you
Gaetz
don't,
is cool.
if you don't want like a weird anti-vax politician who's part of a political dynasty to beat off on your FaceTime call, why'd you FaceTime him? Why didn't you just
Yeah,
text him, or why didn't you just call him like audio call?
Yeah, like
Listen,
honestly.
if you're Facebooking men, you're inviting their penis to be on camera. It's
That-
I don't
that makes
support this.
sense.
I don't think it's okay. Men listening to this, don't do that. It's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah,
but
if-
we don't have a broad listenership here. Women, I'm just telling you, this is how men behaving out
yeah,
here.
and if you're a man, like, and you're calling people up on FaceTime, like maybe don't FaceTime. If
You
you're
don't
gonna
have to-
beat off. Just
you don't have to-
beat off while you're on the phone.
You could just, they won't be any none the wiser. And ladies, also, by the way, if you're wondering, yes, every single time you've spoken to any man on the phone,
He's beating off.
He's beating off.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And he can't be bothered to. I can't keep saying this without laughing. Yeah, he's beating off. There's nothing you can do about it. Just don't worry about it. Pretend you didn't hear us say this. But also don't worry about it because the only women listening to this are apparently guys' sisters.
Yeah.
So.
Also, don't look out your window because there's probably a guy beating off out your window.
Certainly.
It's just what happened.
Especially if you're schizophrenic and you have auditory or visual hallucinations and you see men through the window. That happens a lot of times to
Yeah,
schizophrenics.
Not like
That's
women,
like my
though,
wor-
are less likely to
joking
be
aside.
schizophrenic.
Yeah,
so.
joking aside, that's like literally my worst fear is not only like seeing something that's not there, but specifically seeing somebody watching me through a window at night is like top fear.
I
of
think
mine.
you're
I
like
hate it.
like you're gonna be fine because that usually shows up at about like 25 years old.
Okay.
And so you're past that, and it also like you.
Nah, man,
are
I'm
you
only
smoking
22.
a ton of weed, or
I don't
no?
smoke weed. No.
Yeah, so you should be fine because like not that weed is a bad
Are you
thing
saying
at all.
weed is the only thing that causes schizophrenia?
No, but it like so like
We're a
some-
pro weed podcast.
Yeah,
here, folks.
absolutely. Weed culture is awesome. I'm totally into it.
Apolitically
It's fine.
speaking.
I don't smoke it or do anything with it.
Neither
but-
do I. No.
But I mean, I don't care. But it does have a like weed. THC has an ability.
Psychotropic.
It can exacerbate a tendency to schizophrenia if you had one or somehow were able to manage to not have it like break out and like there it could set it off.
Absolutely. And exacerbate sounds a lot like the word masturbate, which is what
watch-
all men do while
while
you're
they're-
on the phone with
Yes.
them.
Also, while they're outside your window, don't look outside your window.
Also, men, if you haven't been aware of this, any man you've spoken to is also masturbating too. You're not the only one on that call who's jerking off. Neither of you are aware of it. You just think you're the only one doing it, but all men masturbate while on the
and
telephone.
while you're masturbating, God is watching you.
Certainly.
Yeah,
And that
he's
God
watching.
is what God were we talking about last episode?
Donald Trump, obviously.
No, the Watership Down gods. Who was that last week?
Frith, Lord Frith.
Lord Frith. Lord Frith is watching you beat off, and Lord Frith likes what they're seeing. Is
Yeah.
Lord Frith gender neutral?
The sun god. Yeah, definitely not a he or a she. It's
Love
dead-
it. Love
yeah.
it.
Lord
Love
Frith. Lord Frith is definitely, definitely masturbating in their own way.
Absolutely. Begun in the 1790s, the novel took Burney 14 years to complete. Damn. That feels good because it usually takes me a very long time to complete creative projects. So 14 years.
That's a little too long.
No, it's not too long. That's how she did it. That's how long it took her.
I'm gonna.
That's just how long it took her, and the book's done. So it doesn't matter. It's not the journey, it's the destination. Or is it it's not the destination, it's the journey?
I think it's
anyway,
the journey.
She worked on it sporadically while she wrote plays and was an exile in France. Damn, she was exiled.
You know what else is cool though? She was doing stuff in between. Like this is like a lifelong project, and she still got other things done. I thought she was just sitting around doing this play. I mean, doing this book,
Which
not doing anything else.
Honestly, I have zero problem with.
No, I'm into this now.
Yeah, absolutely. Although especially since she's in exile, although the first edition sold out on the strength of Burney's reputation, the scathing reviews of the novel caused it to sell poorly. Reviewers disliked its portrayal of women and its criticism of English society.
Dude, I think I'm gonna love this.
Yeah,
one. Like all we do is criticize British people.
Yep, and appreciate women and have. Unironic, like we were joking around a lot on this podcast, but unironically, like a ton of respect for ladies.
Yeah, we are very.
We're the only manosphere podcast that aren't dyed in the wool hardcore misogynists.
Yeah,
we appreciate women. We respect women. We believe gender is a completely arbitrary construct, and all we want to see is what's best for everybody. And that includes women who are treated globally as second-class citizens, which is bullshit. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. I despise it.
Agreed.
All right, composition. Take it away, guy.
Burney spent 14 years writing The Wanderer, the longest amount of time she spent writing any of her works. She began the novel in the late 1790s and finished Camilla. Is that how did I say that right? Camilla, but stopped, deciding to write plays which were more profitable. Oh, cool. All right, so like she finished. I guess I don't know. It's Camilla is hyperlinked, so like that's probably another work that she did that it's probably famous too, but I don't know it.
I don't know it either. We can't click on it.
Can't really click on it.
Goes against the rules of the pod, brother.
And she wrote plays because they were more profitable. Makes sense. And I mean, it's sort of like TV writers and movie writers. Like instead of writing books, they're writing that because they make more money doing that.
Certainly.
Anyway, in 1801. Burney's husband, General Alexandre Jean Baptiste Piocard d'Albari.
That's too many names. This guy's a general.
Yeah, he sucks. Anyway, the general returned to his home country of France, and tried to acquire a commission in the French army that would not require him to fight the English.
Damn,
that's cool.
Conscientious objector, perhaps.
I kind of wish he was fighting the English. Anyway, he was unsuccessful and could not leave France without raising suspicion of the government. So Burney joined him in April on 1802. So Burney joined him in April in 1802.
I'll take it from here. The Napoleonic Wars, which had halted briefly, resumed, and Burney was forced to spend 10 years as an exile in France. Damn, that's because she was sleeping with the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. While there, she worked on a draft of The Wanderer. However, no manuscript of the novel exists, so it is impossible to track the exact progress of the novel. That's fucking cool. It's like lost. You talk about lost media. The original first draft manuscript of The Wanderer was just lost to the sands of time, it sounds like. In 1812, Burney left France with her son on the Mary Ann, ostensibly to go to the United States. In actuality, she intended to return to England. Why? Why would you want to go back? You got out. Like, you're free.
But you're
free.
You're during the Napoleonic Wars. It's not a great time to be in France.
Especially if you don't speak French.
Yeah, and like
I
have a feeling that like this is one of those like France like through the 16, 17, 1800s was in perpetual revolution.
Yeah, hell yeah, a lot of heads getting lobbed off.
Which is fine because they are mostly the rich people and and monarchs. So like we're all about that. I mean,
absolutely.
Guillotines.
Bring them back.
Cool as fuck. Although somebody has to clean them, so I don't know if I want those. I would much rather just tie rocks to people and drop them in the ocean.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's just like cleaner. It's better for the
more
environment.
efficient. Yeah.
It's like I don't like things cutting things because I work with knives all the time, and I have to like cut things, and I don't want to cut myself.
We've watched a lot of movies in our time being friends, and the only times I've ever seen you actually have to turn away from the screen is if there's some sort of injury to the hand.
Yeah,
that kills you.
Freaks me out.
Yep. I saw some movie recently. You ever see one of these bits where somebody's like being stabbed at and they put their hands up and they get like the blade right in between one of their fingers, it hacks their hand like in half.
Stop. You know the scene in Alien where where what's his name is oh my god.
Yeah, he's doing the knife game where he goes 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
God.
Yeah.
Drowning Mona when Mona chops off her son's hand because he won't stop fucking around.
Hell yeah,
dude!
I've never seen Drowning Mona.
Great movie.
Is it about a witch who gets drowned?
No. It's about Bette Midler is Mona, and everybody in the town hates her, and they all plot to kill her somehow.
Nice.
And it's like a murder mystery, and Danny DeVito's in it.
Love him.
Bette Midler's in it.
Everybody. That's not the one with Roseanne. What's the one with Roseanne where she's like a loud bitch and she has a big mole and everybody hates her?
Roseanne.
No, it's a movie. It's not the TV show.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
You just unlocked a memory of that movie, and I don't remember anything.
We should watch Drowning Mona after this, though.
Okay, yeah. The ship illegally docked in England and was captured, making Burney. I almost said Barney. Making Burney and a few other passengers nominally prisoners. Passengers nominally prisoners. Take it away, guy.
Burney had not originally intended to work on the novel while in England, but during the long wait for her ship at Dunkirk.
Good movie.
Oh, I didn't see it yet, but I heard it's great.
It's good.
Okay. She had decided to continue working on it. Burney's husband sent her the manuscript there, to do which he had to promise what?
That's
to
fine.
do which he had to promise the French government that upon his honor, the work had nothing in it political.
Nice, apolitical.
Nor even national, possibly offensive to the government.
Fuck the government.
Yes, fuck the government, but also,
yeah.
Good job, Burney, for being apolitical.
Keeping it apolitical, brother.
Yeah, keeping it apolitical.
That's the way to do it. Yep. The customs officer, however, was enraged that the manuscript had been sent. According to Burney, he began a rant of indignation and amazement at a sight so unexpected and prohibited. He sputtered at the mouth and stamped his feet.
What a douche!
Absolutely.
That's a cop. Fuck the police.
Fuck
this cop guy.
Apolitical podcast, but we hate police.
Is hating police political?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Police politics.
I don't know.
Whatever. Who gives
I
a
hate
shit?
cops.
Who gives a shit? He accused Burney of being a traitor. Burney himself believed that without the help of an English merchant at the time, her manuscript would have been destroyed. However, in her dedication, Burney gave a completely opposite account, no doubt to avoid any difficulties for her husband in France. Oh. Shout out. I mean, no, that's fucking rad, though, to be like, I ain't no snitch. I ain't snitching out on my fucking husband. Like, what? Fuck that shit. He ain't had nothing to do with it. Protect your partner, people. You got your partners.
Burney, excellent human.
Absolutely. All right, so we got plots and themes, and we got another picture.
We got a picture of some flathead weirdo.
Yeah, some George Washington looking motherfucker over here with a weird coat with a tall collar and a big ribbony tie.
Yeah, it's a nice painting. I mean I don't really like it, but
I could do a better painting than that.
Yeah, sure.
No, probably not. I'm joking, folks.
I'd be more interested in seeing your painting than this one, but this is the one we got. Yeah. All right, The Wanderer is set during the Reign of Terror, exemplified by the rise of and fall of the Maximilian
Robespierre. You don't know Robespierre?
Nah, not really.
Oh, he went nutty with it. He was chopping people's heads off left and right.
Oh, cool. That was just the caption for the photo.
Yeah.
All right.
So The Wanderer opens with a group of people fleeing the terror. Among them is the protagonist, who refuses to identify herself. No one can place her socially. Even her nationality and race are in doubt. As Burney scholar Margaret Doody. Her name's fucking Doody. Yeah. Doody. What the fuck?
We're 4 years old.
Oh my god. As Burney scholar Margaret Doody explains that the heroine thus arrives in England as a nameless every woman, both black and white, both Eastern and Western, both high and low, both English and French. She asks for help from the group, but because she knows no one, she is refused.
Okay. The protagonist, later identifies as Juliette Granville, tries to become self-sufficient, but her story reveals the difficulties of a woman in her friendless situation. Women take advantage of her economically, and men importune her.
Nice.
She is, quote, a woman totally dispossessed by political events.
See, that's what politics do. It just dispossesses
Yeah, it
people of their
sucks.
autonomy. Like this, so what they're saying is this protagonist, unnamed, nondescript. She's literally just a woman. Could be upper class, could be lower class. Nondescript, doesn't matter. She was
It's an
just
every woman's
presented
story.
with a woman.
It's an every woman's
A
story.
woman who, by circumstance, is completely cut off from any sort of either favor or misfortune that society could have given her either way, and she's fucked. She has no one. No one's helping her out. She got nothing because, once again, guy, apolitical podcast, but women are treated like second-class citizens in our society. It's a fucking nightmare. No matter what your background is, strip a high-class woman of anything, and she will just be a woman. And it's a fucking shame. It's a real fucking shame.
Yeah. Anyway.
Apolitical podcast, folks. Miss Arb, for example, takes control of Juliet's life and her money, although inexpertly. She also attempts to organize a ladies' committee. Boo! Could you imagine what a fucking nightmare that would be?
Then they get all their periods start linking.
Yeah,
up,
they
and
talk
then
about
it's a bloodbath.
shoes. They talk about reality TV shows. They talk about
The Bachelor.
Talk about The Bachelor. They talk about boys. Organized a ladies committee becoming a comic spectacle of political life. Specifically, Burney compares Miss Arby to Robespierre, as Duty explains the arrangements of both become swallowed in egotism, are highly disorganized and impetuously directed, and are bound to end in failure. Throughout The Wanderer, Burney comments on the tyrannical hold that the rich have over the poor in England, showing how the wealthy will accept music lessons from Juliet but refuse to pay for them, placing her in a desperate situation. She also charts
dicks.
the downward spiral of Juliet from gentility to working woman. She begins as a musician and slips into the less reputable positions as milliner and seamstress. What's a milliner? We
It's hyperlinked, but we can't
click on
I
it.
feel
So
like
do you know
a
what a
milliner
milliner is?
I feel like
Works in a mill, maybe?
I mean it's not a cobbler.
What's a
seamstress-
cobbler?
A cobbler is a shoe repairman
Okay.
or a shoe builder. A seamstress obviously is somebody who makes dresses. So a milliner has to be. It sounds like it's probably something to do with garments, in some way.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll take your word for it. It's some kind of garment worker. Yeah, take it from there.
In her cross-class analysis of the problem of women, Burney is probably influenced by Mary Wollstonecraft. Yeah, Mary Wollstonecraft's Maria, or The Wrongs of Women, 1798. However, according to Duty, Burney is the first novelist seriously to express sympathy for the working women in their normal conditions of work, and to see how the system of employment, not merely individual bad employers, creates the condition of impossible monotony.
We love it. This is an apolitical podcast, but this is a book from the early 19th century that actually has a decent
This is a
dose of class consciousness
It's
within
class consciousness
within
and-
Western
and
literature.
feminism.
Feminist
And-
with pre-Marxist class consciousness.
And I
We
am
love it.
shouting out Longman, Hearst, Rees, Orm, and Brown for pushing
Sticking
to get
their
this
neck
out.
out for this, 'cause,
They probably read this book and realized the only way that this is coming out is if men push for it.
Yep. And it also doesn't. I mean, it's self-fulfilling prophecy, which I'm sure the author was aware of. But her own kind of class position within society made it possible for this story to be released. And of course, it got a fucking negative critical backlash from critics. Fuck the critics. Fuck all critics. Unless you're a critic who's listening to this podcast, in which case, please
share, subscribe.
Yeah,
review,
give us a 5-star
live,
review.
laugh,
It really
love.
helps us out. Allegedly,
But-
I don't fucking know. Share this podcast with your friends.
I don't know.
Really
It's just
good,
what
folks.
we've heard before.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Eleanor Jodrell is the antagonist of the story. She controls her own own destiny, largely because she is an unmarried heiress and articulates feminist views on the economic and sexual oppression of women. During the 1790s, novelists often portrayed feminist characters, sometimes as heroines, such as in Mary Hayes' Memoirs of Emma Courtney, 1796, but more frequently as grotesque satires, as in Elizabeth Hamilton's Memoirs of Modern Philosophers, 1800. In The Character of Eleanor, Justine Crump argues in her article on the novel for the Literary Encyclopedia, Burney represents feminist arguments, but she does not either explicitly criticize or endorse them. Duty, however, contends that Barney endorses Eleanor's feminist arguments because no character contradicts them, and Juliet appears to agree with them. When the two discuss women's issues, Juliet does not dispute Eleanor's point of view. She adds more points to her argument.
Excellent. All right. Eleanor falls hopelessly in love with Harley. That's right? Harley? Yeah, that is Harley.
Yeah.
Eleanor falls hopelessly in love with Harley, the brother of her fiancé and a suitor of Juliet's. Harley is uncertain whether he should propose to Juliet, as he knows nothing of her family, and she earns money by giving young ladies music lessons and instructions on the harp. After Harley rejects her, Eleanor abandons decorum altogether. She dresses up as a man and frightens Juliet with her threats of suicide.
Hell yeah.
I hope she didn't kill herself.
Me neither, but threatening suicide is sick. I love it.
It is Harley who discovers Juliet's true identity. She is the daughter of a clandestine marriage of the Earl of Granville. She was raised in France and forced to marry a revolutionary to save her guardian from the guillotine. Juliet fled the marriage, but her husband pursued her, believing that she would inherit the Granville fortune. The Granville family known of her predicament, but refused to help her.
Damn.
Harley abandons Juliet after discovering that she is married. She is eventually rescued by a friend. In the end, Juliet's husband is deported and executed as a spy.
Damn.
Her guardian comes to England, thereby granting her respectability and her inheritance. Harley returns and proposes. Finally, Eleanor is brought to repudiate, if not her feminist principles, at least her suicidal intentions, and order is restored to the novel. However, as Duty explains, Burney gives up the happy ending, of course, but not until she has made sure that we see it as just a formality and by no means a solution. The reader cares little for Juliet's marriage to Harley and recognizes instead that she has become a commodity.
Damn, dude.
This
Harsh.
book is probably insane. I might have to read this.
Yeah, this is pretty wild. The love triangle between Harley, Eleanor, and Juliet suggests that Eleanor should be a villainess who disrupts the happy love of Harley and Juliet. However, the characterizations of both Eleanor and Harley challenge this assumption. Harley is a very passive and fussy person, and as Duty argues, he does not satisfy our ideas of the hero of a love story who ought to be the handsome, dashing, strong, and courageous, if a trifle self-willed. His purpose in the novel is to mark out what is respectable and proper, claiming that Juliet should not perform her music in public, nor should she profit monetarily from it. Juliet's defense of her performances to Harley mirror Burney's own defense of her playwriting to her father, Charles Burney, who strongly disapproved.
Dick.
Fuck you, Charles Burney, you fucking naysaying asshole. Support your children, support the arts. Harley is named after Henry Mackenzie's Harley in Man of Feeling, 1771, and reminiscent of him, a hero of sentiment and delicacy.
Wow, so they're like, this book is just challenging all of the normal like gender roles,
Like even within
like,
literary,
of the time. Like,
yeah, love it.
It's this is probably a very important book that we all should probably read.
I had never heard of it. Have you heard of it?
I've never heard of it, but the story sounds super complicated, which interests me because I like a good story. Like,
You like a yarn?
I also like not to like say good things about British people because we generally don't for some weird reason.
It's not weird. They have it coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck them.
But I do love English literature, and I read mostly British authors.
Well, that's because you speak English. Do you speak any other language aside from English?
Pig Latin?
Give me an example. Are you fluent?
No, absolutely not. I can read German. Not
Okay.
well.
Yeah, we demonstrated that in what was that episode?
Nice.
Yeah, right, totally. All right, so we got what are we at now? Genre. I'll take it from here. The Wanderer is a historical novel, part of the new genre that was a response to the French Revolution during the 1790s and the early 19th century. Novelists examined the past using fiction. Charlotte Smith analyzed the Revolution in Desmond, 1792, and The Banished Man, 1794, while Jane West's The Loyalist looked at the English Civil War. I ain't never heard of any of these books. Have you?
No, not really. I think
I thought we were well read. I thought we were like an authority to like discuss anything.
I
or are we not? Are we just doing this podcast because we're white guys and this is what white guys do?
Yeah, it basically it's just like if
Has
French
the veil lifted? Do the listeners finally understand that we're not like
we're becoming well read by reading these articles.
this is true? And listen, folks, progress not perfection, right, guy? Progress
Yeah.
not perfection.
And,
Here, you want to take it?
honestly, I've read a few books, but not about the
I've
French
listened to a
Revolution.
few. I've listened to a few.
I don't remember where we are. We are Charlotte Smith, Analyst
English
of the
Civil War. We're at Sir Walter Scott.
Sir Walter Scott's Waverley, 1814, was published the same year as The Wanderer. Although the novel is set during the 1793-94 dire reign of a terrific Robespierre,
Robespierre. Yeah.
Burney does not fill the text with references to the specific historical events. Neither does Louis the
XVI. What's that, bro?
Roman numerals. I don't know.
Work it out with me. What's X?
X is 10.
What's V?
5.
What's I?
1.
So XVI would be
1, 5.
10 plus 10 plus 5 plus
15,
1.
16.
Yeah. So
Louis
that
the
would be-
16th.
Nice. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So, all right.
Fuck Roman numerals.
Real quick.
Yes.
So, like, me, my brother Clay, and my brother Al were all homeschooled because
Nice.
was not. No, I fully
Fuck school.
I do not endorse homeschooling your children. In general,
What
I
if
know
you're
a few
teacher?
good.
What if you're a teacher?
If you're a scientist, maybe, and if you're a teacher, yes.
Nice.
But like most of the time,
What if you're a sewer rat
anyway?
and you've happened upon
Most
4
of the
mutant
time,
turtle boys?
There is a reason teachers exist. School is not always like a good place, but certain things need to be taught. Anyway,
And not everybody should be an expert in everything,
exactly.
right?
So,
like
yeah,
we're communal creatures. Like
we're
we
experts in everything, though. Like me
we're
and you.
we are experts in everything,
'cause
but you
we're
shouldn't.
well-read.
Don't even try to like fucking knock our crown down because you'll slip and fall. You
Yeah.
can't. None of y'all. We love you, listeners, but I'm sorry, none of y'all are even fit to wash our jocks.
Take
like
a
we
shot
are
at
better
the
than-
king, best not miss. Omar Little.
Absolutely. Fuck
All right.
y'all.
Anyway, back to my quick abridged story.
Yes. Homeschooling,
Homeschooled.
which you're a big fan of. Gotcha.
No, yeah. So
Just
like,
say you're a big fan of it.
anyway, my my brothers and I, our parents at like when I was like in 5th grade, they were like, wow, at this point they had 7 kids, and they're like, there's too many of them for us to teach or do anything. So they started putting us in school.
Nice.
They did not teach it. Like when they say homeschooled, it was like, I'm putting quotation marks like it's like it was not. It was like we literally just ran around. We lived in Hawaii for a while and just threw coconuts at each other. Like,
Nice.
there was not any schooling going in.
So what you're saying is you did just fall out of a coconut tree.
Yes.
And you did not live within the context of all of which that has come before you.
No, but
Nice.
my
Nice.
brother Al.
You have beaten, once again, Kamala Harris, second L within like a couple weeks. Pretty brutal,
Yeah.
you know?
But this is a story about my brother Al, who got
Yes.
into the 4th grade at like and was just like, this is first
At age 27.
first day of school. He's a regular kid who is just running around coconuts, and he got put into a Christian school. Like that's what our parents did.
Boo.
And he looks down at the book, and they're like, "We're doing Roman numerals." The first thing he says in the Christian school to the teacher is, "Roman numerals? What the fuck is a Roman numeral?"
Al. ow, ow, ow. What the fuck is a Roman numeral?
Yes. This he is now I consider him one of the smartest people I know, and
Absolutely.
he is one of my favorite people.
Listen, you don't need to know Roman numerals to be smart. You
No,
know?
but
it's like, do you have to be good at fucking, like, I don't know, like, do you have to be good at Mario Tennis to be good at video games?
Yes, actually, that's a requirement.
Is it? I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not really a gamer. I play Katamari. I recently just got back into GoldenEye 64, and I've been playing a lot of 1080 snowboarding.
Dude, 1080 was fun.
Underrated game. Love
Underrated.
1080.
Totally
Sound
underrated.
off in the comments if you played 1080.
1080 ruled.
Rob Haywood.
Oh,
Dion Blouster.
where are we at? Okay, so
Agati Hayoti.
all right, so
Kensuke Kimachi.
yeah. Anyway, neither Louis XVI nor Marie Antoinette was mentioned in the novel, for example. So she pretty much kept big historical events out of the novel.
She's keeping it apolitical.
Well, she wanted.
That's what we do over
she
here.
wanted to focus on gender roles, feminist like ideas, and she wanted to. I don't know. I'm gonna read this book, and I'll be able to give you a better idea.
She's focused on fucking gender roles. I'm over here focusing on a couple different kind of roles: cinnamon rolls and cash rolls, baby.
Wait, rolls of cash like that?
Yeah,
the ones you
that's the-
hide?
yeah,
you
dude.
hide up in the rafters so
Just
that
imagine
so the cops
having
can't find them.
Yeah, just imagine having like a cash roll
Fuck
and
the
just
cops.
whipping it at somebody. That'd be so
God,
sick.
It would be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, The Wanderer also draws on the conventions of Gothic fiction, specifically mystery and concealment, spying and flight.
Love it.
Like Anne Radcliffe's The Romance of the Forest, 1791, the heroine of The Wanderer is unknown and in need of sympathy at the beginning of the story. Throughout the story, the heroine name is consistently concealed and later only half revealed. That's
Love
so
it.
cool.
I do
I'm
like
gonna.
that.
I'm gonna. This. It's.
Did
like,
you read the other book that we got, the feminist book from pre-war Germany? Did you read that one?
The
Artificial Silk Girl?
No. I'm
Okay.
I'm starting. I did download it onto
Nice,
onto my Audible. Not
Hell
Audible.
yeah.
I don't use Audible. Fuck Jeff Bezos. I use audiobooks.com because
You can't get away from it.
oh my
though.
god. You know like how hard it is? Like I spend needless hours trying not to buy things from Amazon.
It's almost impossible in a lot of cases.
It is
though.
so, like-
you're stuck. You're
It's
like, this
so
is the
weird.
only like affordable way for me to purchase this item. Like even if it's like this is actually cheap, buying this off of Amazon is actually cheaper than going out to the store and getting it off the shelf.
And it's not like
It's
buying from
horrible.
Shein or Temu. It's the same bullshit.
Shout out Temu. We are pro Temu.
Yeah, we sort of. I mean,
I love
they
Temu.
use slave labor. Like it's
Hello, we live in the United States.
yeah, but they use
What do you think prisons
really
are?
bad slave labor.
What do you call the United States once again?
I don't see child slavery in the United States as much. There's more of that in
You're
China.
not looking in the right places, brother.
Okay.
Have
Anyway.
you seen like what meatpacking plants are like? It's migrant
yeah.
children who are in there like carving up like the meat that you eat. Anyway, this is an apolitical podcast.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Listen, you're gonna criticize slave labor abroad. Look at
I
where
know,
we're
I
living
know,
right now.
I know.
Look
I
at
know.
where we're living
Shein
right now.
is actually doing their best to like act because when they find
Who?
Shein,
Who?
it's the fast fashion website Shein.
What?
Anyway,
Are they a sponsor?
I wish they were.
Yeah,
like,
they should
if
sponsor
they should
us.
give us money because like I do see that they.
What
are,
if we get an Amazon sponsorship?
Oh God, I don't think I could do it.
I would
I mean,
take the
it
money,
depends
but
if they
I
ha-
take
if
the
they
money
give
and
us
then
enough
continue-
money.
I take the money, but then I would
You know what?
continue
Yeah,
to
I live in this
criticize.
capitalistic hellscape. I should start
Yeah.
embracing some of the things of it. Like, give me your money. I'll say what you want. I don't give a fuck.
We'll take the money from Amazon. We'll take most of it to line our pockets, but then the other we'll support monetarily. We'll support all the efforts that are going into unionize Amazon workplaces.
Can we like just say that we are and then not?
What? That we support? We
Yeah,
already
can
do
we like?
support them.
But no, I'm just saying. Can we
vocally.
take their money and instead of get like we put some in the unionizing fund, but it's not really
Mm-hmm.
a unionizing fund. It's our fund to just get us better pants.
I would love pants.
Yeah,
I got holes in my pants. It was a cool look.
I'm wearing sweatpants.
I got the grunge look right now. I got holes
Is
in my
it?
knees.
Oh.
Yeah, I got. Holes
I never understood that. I never could
I got
get down with the hole in my
because
knee
you don't
pants.
have sharp knees like me.
No, I don't.
Me and Eddie Vedder have sharp knees.
Oh yeah. Oh. Watching, waiting.
Gnashed his teeth and bit the recess
Don't
in his breast.
call me
He got
daughter.
like
Don't
if I find a better man.
With arms wide open.
Hell yeah, now we're talking.
Though something can
Under the sunlight.
Can you take me higher? There we go, yeah.
And I was told the news today.
Never saw another cold man.
I never ate bread with nothing stealing it.
This is
I'm
how
going
you
hungry.
remind me
Wait,
of
can you
what I really am.
Wait, can you be Chris Cornell for me?
Sure.
I'm going hungry.
And I go hungry.
I'm going hungry. I don't mind stealing bread. Oh, I don't. No, I don't mind stealing bread. Oh,
She fucking hates me.
hates me. Oh, you're a crazy bitch, but you fuck so good that I'm sitting on a dick because I'm having sex with a guy because you're such a crazy bitch that I'm gay now.
Okay.
I love the cocaine. I love the cocaine.
Could
Could we get demonetized for singing copyrighted material like that?
Well, no, those were all just renditions of Pearl Jam songs.
We
right?
wrote all those songs.
Yeah, we wrote. We were doing. It's like
Bitch, I'm Eddie Vedder.
pretty
Bitch,
much
I'm Eddie
all of that was just AI
Vedder.
generated.
Yeah, can't find a Vedder man.
Can't find a yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. David Vetterman.
Anyway, we got publications and reception. We got this like picture of this
Pretty
this
cool looking
critic.
picture.
I
Yeah.
don't know. He's a critic.
William
Looks like a
Hazlitt.
douche to me.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. Fuck him. He had a harsh review of The Wanderer. Helped turn
you.
public opinion against it. The Wanderer was published in 5
Dude,
volumes.
original red pill manosphere. This is the original Andrew Tate.
Totally. He looks like an incel too. Yeah. Fuck him.
I
Probably-
feel,
terminally-
I feel
terminally-
bad for incel people that
Why?
that identify as
Why?
because it is just
Because you think they're right and that they think that they're owed sex from women.
I don't think it's right. I don't think they're right. What I think is that we have failed them as a society.
I didn't do shit to fail them.
Yeah, we did. We left them behind.
What they could do is do what I've been offering up to young alienated men, such as myself. When I was a young man, I was a young alienated man, and I found punk rock. And it doesn't have to be punk rock. It could be literally anything that's a communal interest.
But it's hard.
And something that actively helps you grow as a person. Being an incel is being a coward and falling back into.
Here is the problem with all of that is that we have literally through technology we have destroyed the ability to have community.
I strongly disagree with that because through technology we've been able to foster community by having people with very niche interests. Make it that much easier for them to discover other people.
But we literally the younger men incel like community that has the school shooters.
It's scary. It's scary that they exist.
These people
and they should be treated as such. I don't treat them with sympathy. I'm afraid of them. I'm worried. I'm worried of how far they've gone.
People we need to reach out to and bring back.
Shit. I don't need to do shit.
Humanity is.
What am I gonna reach out to a Nazi for and be like, hey, listen, Mr. Incel Nazi, like you're misunderstood and sad. No, fuck them. I'll make fun of them until they decide to stop being a fucking incel.
That does not work.
I don't give a shit. It makes me feel better.
I know it makes you feel better, but it is actually pushing us backwards.
I don't give a fuck. It does not pushing me backwards,
it
motherfucker.
Is pushing you
I feel great. I'm doing a great job.
You're going to do fine under a Trump administration because of what we have.
Because I'm a white guy and I'm I'm bored with a certain level
but a
of
lot
privilege.
of people we are privileged.
This is an apolitical podcast, by the way, guy. I think we should stop having this conversation.
I just want
you're more empathetic than I am to.
It's not even
incels.
that. I just think it is an important thing in the world is to be able. We are losing
to convert them away from being incels and bring them back to reality.
To bring them into community to deplatform the world from technology is like from social media and all this stuff.
Well, that's gonna happen after the nuclear apocalypse. Like
Yes,
we
I
are
know,
gonna be, we're gonna be.
I
bombed back-
want to do it before that, so we can at least try. Like the thing, that, like there is a never end. Like it is never going to happen.
Listen,
it's
I,
always going to be
I don't
horrible.
see technology, the existence of technology in and of itself, as a negative thing. I see the application of it.
That's
the
yes.
application of it being
By-
used to disempower. Yeah,
Yes, by the
tech
billionaires,
by
the
tech billionaires to disempower
Yeah.
working class people. The problem is this, like, it's an inevitability that community will support each other in these hard times that are coming up, whether it's climate catastrophe, whether it's political catastrophe, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. People will find ways, and we're very inventive. They can take the technology away from us as soon as we weaponize it against them,
Yeah.
as soon as it becomes that. So but here's to draw everything back from the macro to the micro, where I'm specifically talking about incels. Incels typically are white men of privilege who believe that they are owed sexual performances from women, and they are completely alienated. Listen, I don't even want to fucking talk about this anymore because it's political, and this is an apolitical
It's not
podcast.
political.
But the thing is, to a certain point, if you're that far gone to being a far right Nazi, I don't feel bad for you, and I don't feel like it's my responsibility to propagandize them and to deprogram them of this programming
But
that they've had.
the problem the problem with that is it does not leave you any options for what to do with these people.
Yeah, no, it does. Continue to what you can do instead of like coddle them and capitulate to whatever bullshit demands they have or whatever bullshit framing of the world they have. Continue to fight for workers' rights and continue to, in general, create less cracks in the system that cause these men to fall down them in the first place.
Yes, but
by giving people access to better material conditions. That's the way that you fix it.
I
That's
get
the way you
that.
fix it. You don't have to fucking like them while they're incels.
I get that.
Or respect
but
them.
I'm not respecting them or like them.
Yeah.
But I am saying that these cracks that you're talking about, people falling down, they are not cracks. They are gargantuous fissures. Like
that are there that are left there intentionally,
and they are literally and to me to wholesale just discard a group of humans that potentially could be good people.
I'm less concerned about incels being discarded than I am like Palestinians being discarded. Like literally discarded.
I honest to God believe that it is one in the same thing.
That's insane to me you think that a dude's not getting laid and people being bulldozed. It can be comparable.
You're missing the thing. I don't think it's not that these dudes. You're bringing it down to the most.
I'm saying
basic,
here's my problem. I only have a certain amount of energy that I can put into certain directions. I don't give a shit about incels. I care more about people who are actually being oppressed and victimized. If you're an incel, you're not being oppressed in any way, shape, or form as somebody who's a victim of the carceral state. You're not being victimized in any way, shape, or form as like a woman who has been disempowered from your own reproductive system. You're not in any way, shape, or form as oppressed as a Palestinian child who had his skin burned off at age 2. Like, fuck off.
I understand all this.
I don't like them.
I understand
I don't care about
all of
them.
that. But the problem with disregarding these people is that
they do have power.
They wield some power.
They do wield power, yeah.
And because we disregard them as their things, because of that, because we are just like saying...
It empowers the right.
It empowers the people that are causing these wars over there. Like,
yeah, you get Stephen Miller. You wind up getting Stephen Miller.
We cannot fix the genocide problems that are happening across the world.
I farted.
Done by these horrible powers without becoming like empathetic to these people that are actually like they have a legitimate qualm of life.
Are you getting that yet?
I can't smell anything right now.
Why not?
Anyway,
this is an apolitical podcast.
This is not political, but we've just
we
touched.
actually are having a political conversation.
This is not political.
It
is a very important thing to me.
Thanks.
Anyway,
The Wanderer was published in 5 volumes by Longman Hershey's. Blah blah blah
holy
blah blah.
shit! This book might be insane.
Yeah, Burney was one of the most popular novelists in Britain at the beginning of the 19th century, but she had not published a novel since 1796. The Wanderer was greatly anticipated, and Longman printed the large large first edition of 3,000 copies. All of these copies were sold to booksellers before the novel's actual release. Believing the novel would be a bestseller, they issued a second edition of 1,000 copies on the 15th of April, 1814, and planned 3 additional ones. However, compared to Burney's earlier novels, The Wanderer was not a success. Only 461 copies of the second edition were sold during 1814, and over the next 10 years, only 74.
Dude.
The leftovers were pulped. Yo,
Dude,
how much
dude.
do you think those go for?
William Hazlitt, you're a scumbag because you ruined this book. You are
Incel scumbag, piece of shit. Oh, maybe we should have held his hand and listened to his fifis and actually been like, hey, like, we need to respect this guy a little bit more. No, fuck him.
And
you're acting like incels are like a new phenomenon of the technological age. No,
you're missing the point
entirely. I missed the point entirely because that's how little I give a shit about them.
I know,
how little I want to talk about them.
I know. But
And they deserve nothing more than ridicule. They deserve to be ridiculed.
Ignoring them is like if you want
That's
to get
like being born a clown and then deciding that you want to be a police officer. It's like you were born into a circumstance where people will laugh at you, and instead of like rolling into that, you decide to like become something that's even more embarrassing and more worthy of scorn and ridicule. They just deserve to be made fun of.
If we just and
it's
you know
not
what?
my
It's
responsibility
great.
for them to stop being
but
bad.
But do you feel like it's your responsibility to be aware of what's going on in Gaza? You think it's your responsibility to be aware
Yes.
of what's going on now? Okay.
Yes.
Well, you know what? If we do not reach these people that wield incredible power, that are all bunch of assholes, if we don't fix that problem, we will never fix any of those other problems.
No, you can fix
No,
those.
there is no way.
Problems.
There is absolutely no way. If we keep on letting these people
Do you
fail.
think that certain people are a lost cause though?
No, I don't.
Nice. I like
100%
that. I
don't
appreciate that.
agree. That's why I don't believe in death penalty, long sentences to prison.
Sure, absolutely. I'm for prison abolition as well.
A lady killed a good friend of mine like
That's
3
terrible.
weeks ago.
Oh, no,
drunk
what the
driving,
fuck?
hit and run.
Jesus.
Yes, and the family is trying to keep her out of jail because she was drunk and she made a mistake. She actually worked for the family at their restaurant, and they're trying to keep her out of jail because that is the humanity that I believe in.
Absolutely, dude. And shouts
that's
out
why
to
we
them.
can't-
And
we
rest in
cannot-
peace to your friend, brother. I'm
Yes,
sorry about
it's
that.
okay,
man.
but we can't just ignore these people. I'm getting serious about this because it's something I'm passionate about.
Yes.
I have nephews, and I want them to succeed in this world, and I see it's just difficult, and they have to be reached, and they have to be taught, and they have to be talked to, and we cannot teach people that people are disposable or a lost cause, because that is what every freaking giant freaking like civilization has done to a group of people. They have killed groups of people just
are
because
currently
they called
doing
them
it.
out.
It's not even a matter of history. It's
I know,
current events.
and
Yeah.
the only way to fix it is to be empathetic.
Yep.
and work
Radical.
with these people.
I agree with you.
Yes.
I agree with you.
All right. Anyway, I'm sorry. This is
Listen,
literally.
I love it. Bring
this
it
is
on,
my
man.
This is the most.
So wait.
to
So
me.
if your nephews wind up being incels, will you get mad at me if I make fun of them on
Yes,
the internet?
I will, because I will be working so hard. They will not become incels because I am in their lives.
Yeah, because
And-
they got you.
Yeah.
And that's all you can focus. That's what I'm saying is I'm not concerned about some like weird internet troll on the internet who's being like a Nick Fuente. No, some guy who I have no I would rather like teach by example and like live a positive lifestyle and actually try to like empower the people directly attached to me.
I don't think that's good enough. That's why we're doing this podcast. Not that's the reason, but I think that like
This podcast for 40 of our friends.
for 40 of our friends, but still, I hope that some of our friends listen to it and are like, do something else, put up some art, be a good thing, get into somebody's life.
Yeah,
and,
like if
and be
you
a
see, if
positive
you're
force.
listening to us do this is just a matter of me like coming over to Guy's house and like sitting down and creating something.
Yeah.
It's not difficult to create things. And
that's
I feel like for a lot, even I'm speaking for myself too. It seems like a big hurdle to like jump over to like actually be creative and like do something and be active. It's just a matter of just like finding a like-minded person and communicating with them and connecting with them and clicking up.
Yeah.
And maybe this is something that like I doubt it'll reach the ears of an actual incel, but like if there's an incel that hears this, it's just like, yeah, listen, like nobody owes you anything, but at the same time, like just like be nice to people and good things will happen. And also do things for people. Just reject the idea of existing transactionally. Just do nice things, not because you're going to get something in return, but because for the own reward of doing something nice for somebody.
Just know that people are there and they do care.
Yeah, and free Palestine. Always
free Palestine.
Always advocate for a free Palestine.
And yes, and all
no matter what. We're probably legitimately going to get in trouble for saying shit like that in the very not too distant
I
future.
don't think so.
This is an apolitical podcast. No. I mean, it's like literally, it's going to be like codified into law that like saying shit like free Palestine will make you an anti-Semite, and the people that are codifying that are actual anti-Semites who actually do.
I know
think
it's
Jewish
a friggin',
people are
it is
subhumans.
literally
It's insane.
It's just
It's insane.
It's all.
It's fucked.
So
it's fucked in half. It's really bad. And this is an apolitical podcast. We're going to go more into.
Sorry about the.
I'm not sorry at all. This is A-class podcasting, and you're lucky to be listening, listener. Go fuck yourself if you have a problem with this. If you have a problem with it, turn it off. I don't fucking give a shit. This is free. Suck my dick. I don't fucking care what you think.
Anyway,
turn it off.
Wanderer,
fuck you. I dare you to turn it off. Even if you're enjoying this, turn it off. I dare you. I dare you. We're going to keep.
Or turn it back
on.
The Wanderer was translated into French by Jean-Baptiste Joseph Breton de la Martine.
What's up with these Frenchies and the
Dude,
fucking long
why
ass
do you have
names,
to have
dude?
like 75 names?
Fuck off.
And Auguste Jacques Lamare d'Argy under the title La Femme and Errante.
Nice.
Yeah, I think so.
Why not?
And published in Paris in 1814. Burney describes the translation as abominable. You know, she probably was bilingual. So she probably read it and was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, because her husband's French, right?
Yeah. A lot of people were bilingual in Europe during those times because there was a lot of like moving between.
Pretty much everybody who's not from England who was like born after 1975, I think, like is bilingual because everybody knows English.
Yeah,
Fluent in English.
Anyway, what's it called? Abominable. A 3-volume American edition was published in New York in 1814. No other editions were published until Pandora Press's 1988 reissue. Interesting.
I was born in 1988. That's too much.
Happy birthday!
Actually, can you go back and delete that? Actually, because I don't want people knowing much about me. I'm just kidding. No, fuck it. I was born in 1988. What are you going to do with that information, everybody?
If you keep saying it, I can't bleep it out.
I was born in 1988. I'm 36 years old.
It would be cool, but don't you want our first beep? Like to beep out something?
Can you beep something?
Yeah, I could probably do that. I can figure it out.
Yeah, anyway,
I'm not going to do it because
let me go back
lazy.
to this critic, William Hazlitt.
He sucks.
Yeah, he's a real donkey. And then you can censor out what I just said. But don't talk over it so you can censor it out. Okay. Or you already go back. Anyway, he's a real donkey.
Yeah, and I'm not going to.
And you're going to add a bleep to that so it sounds like I called him a slur?
Maybe. We'll see.
That's actually a really good thing to call people is a donkey.
I like it. An ass.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice. All right, The
right.
Wanderer received unfavorable reviews, with one or two quite damning, which have seriously affected its sales. Reviewers argued that Burney's earlier novels had been better. The Wanderer was improbable, and the language was prolix and obscure. They were also taken aback by the criticism of England at the time, when the entire country was celebrating its victory over Napoleon. The negative reviews were published quickly for the 19th century. 2 hostile reviews appeared in April 1814. A genuinely favorable review did not appear until April of 18. That's why it only sold like 70 fucking copies, dude.
Yeah.
All right, critic William Hazlitt, boo. And
boo this guy.
We have
sucks.
a shit list going on of this podcast, right?
Yeah, we have what is it? It's that building in North Carolina.
That's on the shit list. That company that owns that building.
The company that owns that. Boomers,
cops, and William Hazlitt,
and has rich people.
Yeah. Okay. So he's on the list of people.
He's on the
kill.
list. Yeah.
Even though he's dead. He's long dead.
I'm gonna put it in my notes.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah. In particular, complained in the Edinburgh Review about the novel's focus on women. The difficulties in which Burney involves her heroines are indeed female difficulties. They are difficulties created out of nothing.
This guy is a turd. Like the biggest asshole. Like,
he's
I don't understand
a
a book about women. Oh, I don't understand. Like women can't be like. Why doesn't this woman a man doing man thing? Like,
and this
fuck
is
you.
A perfect like point and parcel how like fucking old and hack this take is, because this is essentially the same version of red-pilled manosphere bullshit that's out today, of people being like, oh, these women, they're just complaining. It's not even like real problems. It's like they're complaining about things that don't actually exist. It's the same grievance.
Have you deep dived into that bullshit yet?
What?
The manosphere?
I'm doing it right now by doing a podcast with you.
No, but like, have you like checked out any of this stuff?
Yeah, I well, here's the thing. I used to work with a guy, shout out to my old coworker. He used to listen to, on the work stereo, daily, he would listen to the Joe Rogan podcast and Jimmy Dore's podcast. It was an unbearable nightmare. It was just the worst takes possible, most asinine commentary. I would just
those are the most benign of those podcasts.
Well, I know that I'm aware of like Fresh and Fit. I know those guys.
Oh
are like
my
Nazis.
God, that one is horrifying.
Those guys are just like Nazis, like to the point where
but they're not. Aren't they like Nazis?
They're kind of, but aren't they kind of like on the spectrum of like misogyny
to
the point where they're basically gay?
They're
they hate women so much that they double back around.
Did you ever see that Andrew Tate?
Andrew Tate 100% is gay, right?
Let me just
didn't he like cop to like doing gay shit?
No. But he did put out a tweet that said, "If you're having sex with women, you're gay." That's what he said. That's literally
listen,
what he said.
Listen, I'll cop to that. That shit's like, gay as hell, dude.
No, he's like, if you're having sex and not having children, that makes you gay.
Yeah, fine, okay.
Dude, I
guess I'm a homo then. I don't know what to tell you.
It was like the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, wait, is homo bleepable? Can I get away with saying homo and not get in trouble?
You're not going to get in trouble for saying homo.
Okay, nice.
Like,
nice.
We cannot police everything here. I
don't give a flying fuck.
Exactly.
Who cares?
But I'm just saying, like, you sent me a weird thing for the what is it, for the soundboard? That guy. The sound, he was doing the soundboards. He's like, we need to get a soundboard because of this clip.
Oh yeah, that guy. Dude, that guy's one of those manosphere guys,
yes.
right? Yeah, he hates women. Yeah.
But
I do want to have a soundboard where at any time
hates women.
Yeah, of course.
But
who doesn't
separate the art from the artist? He is so good with that soundboard.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody does it as good as him.
Well, no, I mean, there's the king,
Ugly Money Nietzsche. That's what he's called.
Yeah.
Well, I'm platforming this asshole. I feel bad.
Don't care.
But whatever. It is hilarious the way he uses the soundboard.
It's fantastic. He's almost as good as Fred Norris from the Howard Stern Show. The OG soundboard artist. Fred Norris, hero of the pod.
Actual genius. Like,
hero
dude, that
of the
guy
pod.
Rules.
He does. Fred rocks.
Dude, I love him in the movie. My favorite thing in the movie is just when he shows up. I got the sound, and he's just like...
They're just like, hey, I think Howard was like, hey, we got fired from D.C., so I'm going to go to Connecticut. Do you want to come with me? And Fred's just like, okay.
Like, the thing is like, that's Howard Stern really like developed like this style of media, like this kind of broadcast.
He what was most revolutionary about Howard Stern was breaking down the facade of the radio DJ being this sort of like non-human sort of like talking sort of like presenter, like sort of like a carnival barker being like, hey, you're listening to the WikiPod with Guy and PJ, and this is blah, blah, blah. And it became much more conversational, much more casual and relaxed. And that was sort of what was the most cutting edge about what he did. And that's what kind of carried that. I think that's his broader legacy in broadcasting.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I like a lot of these new like red pill guys are literally, they think they are copying Howard Stern. They think they think
that's what Howard Stern's legacy was being rude and like being like misogynist, being shocking in like terms of being like racist and misogynistic.
They completely missed the point.
They completely missed the point of Howard Stern. Absolutely, which is to be funny, but also to sort of like buck the system. And so I think honestly, that's kind of like when Howard Stern kind of, in my opinion, sort of lost a lot of his magic was when he won. He like beat the system, and he wasn't the underdog anymore.
Yeah. It did change. It did change so much.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about this the other day, but I feel like after Private Parts finally got released, that was sort of the turning. That was the turning point.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah. Like I remember being a kid, I actually didn't like Stern that much when I was like really young. Like my dad would listen to Stern in the morning, and it kind of scared me a little bit because I was like, I was a little fucking wimp, and hearing people on the radio like yell and argue with each other and like call the listeners stupid and stuff, it made me feel like really bad.
Yeah. It was.
It wasn't until I grew up. It wasn't until like teenage years that I was able to appreciate how funny that was.
Yeah.
You know.
Shout out Howard Stern. Shout out Fred Norris.
Shout down to Howard Stern though. He's weird now.
I know, but he's
Yeah.
You know what?
He won. It's like he doesn't need to shout up or shout down. He won. He did it. He changed the landscape of media. You know, there's no doubt about it.
And shout out to Gary.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
We love Baba Booey. This is a pro Baba Booey podcast. Anyway, critic William Hazlitt and predictor of blah, 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 blah. What did I say? Oh, yeah, the difficulties are created out of nothing.
Yeah.
Stupid. According to Hazlitt, women did not have problems that could be made into interesting fiction.
What a fucking turd.
Like, even at the time, that's like, is it
loser.
When was Jane Eyre published?
I don't know.
Was it published after this time period?
It was around this time period. Like, dude, Jane Austen was writing the most interesting books about women in society.
And this dipshit's actually getting paid to say that women don't have interesting problems to talk about?
Yo.
What the fuck is he? Lady Macbeth wasn't an interesting character. What the fuck is this guy talking about?
My five favorite works of fiction, 3 of them are Jane Austen novels.
Nice.
3, because they are the most interesting works of fiction and hilariously funny. Anyway,
yeah, totally.
Continue.
The reviewer, this guy fucking is such a shithead.
Yeah,
Fuck
William
him.
Hazlitt, shout down forever.
Yeah,
well, you're down. You're in the ground. You suck. We hate you.
Yeah, we want to bring you back to life so we can fucking kill you again. Ratata.
Yeah, something like that.
The reviewer.
I don't want to kill you. I want to explain to you why you're wrong and then try to change your mind. That's what
I don't want to change his mind. It's in black and white. He already fucked it up. Anyway, the reviewer, his life is forfeit. The reviewer for the British Critic found the character of Eleanor distasteful and guided readers to Hamilton's more conservative memoirs of a modern philosophers. Since the 1980s, The Wanderer, along with Burney's other work, has become the focus of serious scholarship and is popular among students. And we got a bunch of notes. It says,
"Dude, I'm gonna go nail. Let's go.
We got to read these because this is too funny."
All right, duty, introduction.
There's a couple of like Roman numerals.
Roman numerals.
But basically, we're gonna go one for one on what these notes are. Duty introduction.
Duty introduction.
Duty introduction.
QTD in duty introduction. Note 6.
The duty introduction. Note 6.
Duty introduction.
Crump.
Duty introduction.
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 No, it's duty note on the text.
Oh, did I get that far?
Yeah.
I was at 19 still. I stopped reading.
Oh, shit. Okay. 22 duty note on text.
Duty introduction.
Duty introduction.
Duty introduction.
God, this rocks. All right, bibliography. We got Crump, Justine, The Wanderer, or Female Difficulties, Literary Encyclopedia. Subscription required. We're not paying for
you with your subscriptions.
Yeah,
subscribe
seriously.
to our OnlyFans.
Information is free, motherfucker.
Except for our podcast. It will be behind a paywall before you know it.
Freedom of information. We're an American podcast, right?
Yeah.
What do we love more than anything?
The NSA.
Freedom.
Well, yeah, the NSA is protecting our
What's
freedom.
the most important? Freedom.
Yeah, the NSA
more
is
important than
protecting.
breakfast, more important than
Lunch?
family, more important than lunch, more important than dinner, more important than brunch, more important than snack time.
Family,
What's your snack time? Do you have a set snack time?
So like right now, I'm trying to just eat twice a day and not eat in between.
My snack time is usually around 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I like to have a little snack.
Bad time to have snack time.
Why?
Because it's like closer to when you're going to sleep.
No, 9:30, 10 o'clock. Actually, I do have a snack time at night too. But 9:30, around 9:30, 10 o'clock a.m.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, because you're working. You got to get those calories. So you can. I mean, you have a physical job.
I do a little snack before I
totally
go out and do
your physical job. Yeah.
Yeah, do the physical aspect of it. Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
then we got Duty,
Duty.
Margaret. Shout out Margaret Ann Duty. You're the hero of this podcast.
Introduction and notes on the text. The Wanderer, Oxford University Press, 2001.
External
ISBN,
links.
External links.
Yeah, we got Wikisource has original text related to the article The Wanderer. I don't know what's Wikisource.
Who cares? It's
that like
it's a new
WikiLeaks?
Wikipedia service.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the source.
What does that mean?
It's just like sources.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's chill. The Wanderer.
Remember
and Internet
Wikimaps? They had the global, the Geopedia or whatever. It was the Wikipedia for MapQuest.
Oh, what? I don't know.
We did it in an episode. I can't remember.
I don't remember. The Wanderer public domain audio book. Oh, this is public domain. And they have a PDF of The Wanderer on the Internet Archive, scanned books, original editions. We can't click on it now, but we might click on it later to read it.
I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna listen to this public domain audiobook. That's sick. It's free. I don't have to pay for it.
Fuck it. We love free shit here.
Yeah, exactly.
Last
edited 11 months ago by I'm going to see if I turn it sideways. Oh, it does. It gives you turn your phone sideways, you get it. Last editing 11 months ago by Tom Redding. Thanks, Tom.
Nice.
You did a pretty good job. Related articles, we got Francis Burney, English satirical novelist, diarist, and playwright, 1752 to 1840.
I'm going to start calling myself a diarist because I have diarrhea sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Tracks.
Do you remember the last time you had diarrhea, guy?
No, but I mean...
Damn, really? Lucky you.
No, it's not because I don't have it very often.
Oh, it happens and you
just
put it
like
out of
once
your
a
mind.
week, you know. It's like
Woo.
Yeah.
Nice. We're a pro diarrhea podcast.
Yeah.
Styles and themes of Jane Austen. Related
hell yeah.
article is Jane Austen.
I
Nice.
really hope we get that one.
Academic analyses of Jane Austen's published work, and then we got Helen Craik, Scottish poet, novelist, circa 1751 to 1825, and that's the end of it.
I'm going to read this book because if it's anything like Jane Austen's book, and since it's in the same like related articles, like I'm absolutely going to love it because Jane Austen. Yeah, probably my favorite female author, definitely.
Nice.
But it's definitely she's just so good. It's amazing. I could talk about Jane Austen for hours.
And we might when we land on her for
wait till
another
we get
article
there.
at another time. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the WikiPod. I'm PJ.
I'm Guy.
Thanks for listening. We love you. Bye.
Bye.